Y'all asked for it, and I will deliver. Hello, everyone. My name is Sark, and welcome back to another figure review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the first Mafex of probably many, the Psylocke X-Men Marvel Mafex figure from Medicom Toys. So, a little backstory, I did not have a single other Mafex figure. This is the only one that I got, and I only got it for personal reasons. I like the character design and everything, so I just wanted to get it. But I was like, I could probably turn this into content. So I asked you all in a poll a couple of days ago. I think it's been almost 2 weeks as of the time of recording this video. And you guys said, yeah, make a video of it. Why not? People would love it. So again, a lot of the decisions on this channel, sometimes big decisions, are made in the community tab, so make sure to check that out every now and then. But without further ado, let's just get right into it and let's see what she comes with. Alright, so here we have the Mafex PSYLOCKE from the X-Men, of course. And honestly, just from aesthetic itself, she looks pretty darn good. I really like how she looks. One of my favorite character designs out of the whole X-Men series. I can't speak today. But yeah, she looks absolutely wonderful. Just as a sort of comparison, something that I always thought about Mafex figures is that they look fairly similar to Marvel Legends. So here I have the Marvel Legends Captain Marvel / Warbird. So there's a lot of resemblance and similarities with these figures. Again, I always thought that Mafex was just a more expensive Marvel Legends that they could be compared to, with a slight more variation in range. But yeah, again, this is how they look together. I think you can definitely fit your Mafex figures with your your Marvel Legends figures, which I think is pretty nice. I'll probably mix and match them depending on the figures that Mafex doesn't have and Marvel Legends doesn't have. So there's that. So yeah, overall I think she looks pretty good. The floaty waistband, kind of annoying because it does move freely a lot, but not so much of an issue yet. I will say, the metallic blue is not just a pure coat of metallic blue. It does have some shading here and there, like for example in some of the crevices and the wrinkles there is a slight black wash there to give more of a sense of a shadow, which is awesome. It's not just a flat finish, which I like a lot, to say the least. But yeah, overall, in terms of looks, she looks amazing. Very womanly figure, which I like in my female characters. But yeah, moving on to the articulation, going over the head, I will say the head is a little bit of an annoyance because it does pop out pretty easily, but it is a double jointed ball peg, which is pretty nice. But again, mine kind of just pops out easily. I don't know if anyone has had that issue with theirs or if it's a very common thing with Mafex and whatnot. But yeah, she can look down that far, not the greatest, and she can look up about that far. You can definitely force it, but again, mine just pops out. The head just pops out very easily, but this is as far as you're going to be able to get it with, because the hair is fixed. Something I didn't mention is the hair does have a black wash. Could have been done better. It's very just like pushed on there, which kind of sucks, but it's like very different from the actual rest of the figure. I don't have an issue with it. Most of the time I'm just going to be looking at her from the front. The back doesn't really matter that much, and it's like there's more black here than on the actual top, so it's whatever. So she can look side to side pretty well, even though the hair is fixed. That's no big issue. Arms do rotate 360 degrees, and butterfly joints, they're actually pretty decent. They're not I wouldn't say they're the best, but they're definitely very similar, again, to the Captain Marvel's Warbird, because you can pretty much get the same amount of range, a little bit better than Captain Marvel, but it's pretty good. I really like it. I think the butterfly joint range is really good. One thing is that you do have to kind of put them upward in terms of the figure. They will be going upwards because the boobs are kind of blocking the way. Because if you try to put the butterfly joints with the boobs, you're not going to get any range at all. So there is that. She does have a bicep swivel, so it's a little tight on mine. It's very tight, really. I don't want to really mess around with it because I don't want to break it, especially for a figure that costs this much, at least in the US retail side of things. Elbows, very tight, but they're double jointed. You're gonna get about a little bit better than 90 degrees on that elbow joint. Not the worst, but definitely could have been done better. The hands are completely different. They're hinged hands, which is typical for any figure nowadays, but they're not ball pegs. They're just pegs, which I kind of like a little better when you have a bunch of different hands and gestures for a character. I think that's always a beneficial factor. But if the peg or the actual socket of the hand is a little bit too big, slightly, it might just be loose. So there's benefits to it, there's downsides to it. So I think ball pegs are always the best way to do it, because then you can get a more sort of seamless look and better run afterwards. So yeah. Torso, the whole torso, or the chest actually, can look forward about that much, and then upward this much, so she can bend pretty well, to be honest. And using the actual ab crunch here, you can get a little bit more range, especially going forward too, because that's really good. The chest doesn't have much free range, but the actual ab crunch does. You're gonna get a gap here, but hey, what can you do about it? And of course, the free floating waistband section, which is not the worst, but also a little bit annoying from time to time. For the legs, she does the splits pretty well. Mine were a little stuck, but as you can see, now I kind of fixed it. They were definitely loose. Oh, we're not loose, but they were very tight. Now they're a little bit more loose than I wanted them to, because if I just move them around, they're just gonna move. But that's because I put probably a little bit too much of my shock oil to just loosen up the joints. But I did it for a good reason, because whenever I try to kick forward with this figure before getting into the video, it was very tight, and I was afraid that I was gonna actually break her joint. So I had to do that, otherwise I would have had a broken figure before I even made a video of it. But yeah, kicking forward about that much, pretty good. She does have a slight sculpted butt cheek, but not the worst, so she can actually kick backwards pretty well. And of course, the knees for this leg is pretty good with the blue. The metallic blue looks pretty good, so you can get the leg kicking very far upward actually, which is really nice. Sorry for blocking it, but that's really nice. And of course, the knee and the foot is on a hinge. There is no thigh swivel, which for this figure could have been really good, especially in this section, but that's not the biggest issue. My biggest gripe with this figure is this knee joint right here. Again, fairly similar, but what is this? That's a whole ass cut in the figure just there. This is the same amount of range that this other knee joint gets, but this one is just holed out. And I don't know if it's because of how they placed it, but even if I move the other leg to kind of hide it, now they're not even the same. This one is still kind of patched out, but the right leg is still visible there. So I think the knee joints could have been done better, but it's pretty much the same articulation all around. So that took me a while to get through. I believe it was 6 minutes worth of just articulation talk, but I think it's good for me to actually talk about it a lot, because it is my first Medicom Mafex figure, so I kind of want to know, especially for the female characters, how their articulation works. But yeah, besides that, let's hop onto the accessories because she does come with quite a bit, as surprisingly. So let's go on to those. Alright, so I was not expecting this many accessories for any type of figure ever, really. So let's go through them sort of quick, shall we? So starting off with the head, we do have a different headpiece for, if I can get good focus, please. There you go. Good focus on this angry head with the hair being swept upon to the side, which looks really nice in my opinion. I don't think it looks bad at all. Very good quality. Seems to be printed on. You do see some of the pixels very up close, but it looks nice nonetheless. It's not noticeable too much in person, especially when you get up close. Like, only if you get up close you see the pixelated. I only see it through my camera, so that's that. It looks really good. So this headpiece looks amazing. We do have another waistband with her sheaths, her katana sheaths on it, attached to it, so that's really nice. And it's just a simple thing of just switching it out for this piece for the figure itself, so really nice. But yeah, these katanas don't have the actual handles, and that's because it comes with 4 different katanas, which is insane. To be honest, like, they didn't have to do all of this, but they did. But these katanas, you can take off the handles real easily and just attach it to them. You'll see it in the posing section of the video. But she does come with 2 katanas. These are pretty much the exact same across both of them, and they look really nice. A silver coating for the actual blade and the gold insignia thingy, and also the handle looks really nice. All of these are great. I absolutely love it. She does come with 4 extra sets of hands, and honestly, Mafex Medicom Toys, I love you for this, because you put these little like wrist holders or hand holders on here. You didn't have to, but you did. Like, every other figure company doesn't do this. I know Figma does it from time to time, but not all the time. But these are great. She does come with 2 open-handed hands, 2 sort of grasping hands for the swords, 2 like magic hands, from what I'm guessing, to hold these effects that I'll get into in a minute, and of course 2 fist hands, which are really nice. If I can get a good focus on them. Alright, so not only does she come with all of this, which is already like good in itself, but she comes with like battle effects. And this is something that I find really fascinating, that I don't know why other companies have not done so. I'm looking at you, Tamashi. Well, they did sort of do it, but for this one, she does have like the energy fist that she uses throughout the series, like both comics and some of the X-Men adaptations. But they look really nice, very good sculpting throughout. It's like very sharp, not bumpy or anything. It's really nice looking, translucent, and all that kind of stuff, with a little bit of white, light pink paint application in the front. And the hands are actually inside, so you don't have to attach them to an extra hand, for example the fist hands, and then just attach it hoping that it stays in. They're just gonna slide right into the hand pegs, which is awesome. So I like that. These little swirl effects that you have here do coincide with the magic hands, to where she's doing like the motion. And of course you have your like energy blades, which are pretty good looking. They're the exact same material as the other accessories, which is awesome. Look awesome nonetheless. I'm saying awesome a lot, so yeah, there's that. But not only does she come with all of this, she comes with a stand. And that is something that I love. I love when companies include stands for their figures. Tamashii, please do so. You like charge the same amount as some of the Medicom toy Mafex figures. Just please include a stand. It takes like $10 to do so, maybe even less. But this stand, not only does she come with the regular waist grabber, it comes with a crotch grabber, or crotch holder. I enjoy that. I like that because it gives more stability to the actual figure. And there's an extra pull and another waist clamp to have different poses, in my opinion. Have a flying pose. This is going to get you the best posability for that. So that's really nice. I absolutely love that. And my god, I'm falling in love with Mafex. I see all of these Mafex figures on pre-order, pre-sale, all that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to get into it. But leading towards my final thoughts, this being my first Mafex figure as a whole has sold me on Mafex/Medicom Toys as a company itself, because of not only the quality of the figure, but the accessories, and also everything else that comes with it. Again, that stand is just perfection. I love it. It's so good. And every other single accessory that comes with this figure is just awesome. It's perfect. It's awesome and perfect. And honestly, I might start reviewing more Mafex figures later down the line. Maybe some of the Spider-Man ones, who knows? But yeah, I'm in love with this figure and Mafex as a whole already. So perhaps expect some other Mafex figure reviews down the line. If you have made it this far into the video, let me know what sort of Mafex figures you want me to take a look at in the near future. Maybe I'll take it into consideration, maybe not, who knows. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys thought about this video and about this Mafex figure as a whole, because I absolutely loved it. Oh wait, I didn't give it a score. This is a 10, by the way, if I actually didn't think about that before. But it's a 10. It's a perfect 10. I don't care. Fight me. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.